I was raped and tortured for 5 days at the age of 14, in a facility in St. Louis, 1970. There is nothing metaphorical or abstract about how those rapes are with me every day. I cry most nights, slap my head, feel lost. I have my own small bedroom, because after my partner and I watch something, or play cards, or hang and talk in our bedroom, I am still up most of the night talking to myself, resisting fantasies of vengeance, cringing over failures, real and imagined, replaying what happened, and working out obsessive behaviors in ritual ways so I can get a few hours sleep. For over 40 years I tried deflecting and compartmentalizing what happened to me, and made myself sick working 80 hours a week. I had no choice but to finally re-inhabit my life, all of it, about 4 years ago, and everyone applauds, says be brave, tell your story. But when, where, is it permissible and welcome to hear what I have to say? Turns out the people who can most relate are almost always triggered by it, and so I have to speak in euphemisms, reduce it to oblique references. Telling my story means being broken and visible, and seen as tragic. Almost no one really understands its aftermath because few can picture what actually happens with violent rapes, with being helpless and held prisoner. The problem is there are no euphemisms for what happened to me. Raped day and night for 5 days, with hands, cocks, and objects, is not assault, or abuse, or even, simply, rape. Needing corrective surgery and an anisectomy cannot be stated in a safe way. In my writing I found ways to say what the shame felt like, the self-blame, the internalization of their insults and jeers and the violence. It required a level of self-revelation that horrified the few fellow writers who have read it. The most honest way for me to describe what it did to me would be to howl, to tear apart and destroy my home, burn it all down, then claw the skin off the corrupt guards who permitted it, against me and many others, then lie down and die on the bloody ashes. That would accurately depict my inner state for 48 years, what it did to me and how it feels. A neurologist at NYU campaigned to have me get elective ECT, to shock out of me these memories forever. I seriously consider that, or memory rewiring with other drugs, even though it means no more writing the way I do. The main resistance I have is this: all those other boys to whom this happened, in Missouri. I owe them. The number, when you incorporate Boonville's history, is thousands, including dozens of murders before they shut that place down. So far we have not found another boy from that time and place who is not in a facility. Most became career criminals, killed themselves one way or another, or are hiding like I did for decades. It was a war zone, waged against young unarmed boys, and they got away with it, because boys don't tell, and no one wants to know that it went on. As it still goes on, every hour of every day, in facilities. Humans are terrible, indifferent creatures. With the help of the Bristlecone Project and its director, we found a man who was at that facility in 1970, at age 15, and he too was violently assaulted many times. I still hope he and I might sit down someday, but his lawyers put a hold on it. He is serving life without parole at a max security prison in California, all of it in solitary. Because he does not trust himself around others? In order to be locked up? He killed a store clerk. He talks about it now, what happened to him in 1970. The way severe trauma affects us is to ruin us forever.